All right, and we are back going into Top Cut. This is going to be round one going into this. Um, we ended up getting the breakdown for the leaders of top eight. There are three Dofis that made it into Top Cut,
Hmm.
one Anel, one Bonnie, one Shanks, one Ploofy, and one Boa. So a little diverse.
Yeah, even with the three Dofis, I mean, that's pretty diverse.
Yeah, so all it comes down to this, and believe it or not, there is going to be a Dofi knocked in this round because we are going to have a Dofi mirror match again.
Yeah.
And they'll cut to the players in a second, but it is going to be Wimmy versus Shecky. You know, girlfriend versus boyfriend.
Yeah.
So who's going to be the superior Dofi player?
Oh, well, one person has only played Dofi the whole time. She's been playing One Piece, so. But they're
Correct.
both really great players, so, I
Yeah,
mean.
so Shecky is typically a BY player. So different change of pace. So I'm assuming he knows Dofi like the back of his hand. This is probably who he play tests with all the time.
Oh, I'm sure he play tested it constantly with BY.
So again, this matchup is gonna come down to who sees the most bounce laws and who can see the teach first to establish the board fastest.
Yep. That's pretty
Um,
much what it comes down to.
so you got Sully handing out some drinks, some product.
Nothing's free.
What a sight, yeah.
Yeah.
Sully's gonna want your life for that water bottle.
Lifelong debt.
Yep. You'll never pay this thing off. But yeah, so very healthy breakdown. Obviously three Dofis, but again, as put in the chat, there is an Anel, Bonnie, Shanks, Ploofy, and Boa. So
Yep.
very diverse. Um, and looks like round is starting. They're just cutting here at the top table though, so they still haven't decided who's gonna go first yet. And Wimmy rolls a 7.
Then I think that was also
No,
that was a 10, I think, or 12.
Shecky won. He chose to go first. She's asking him why does he chose to go first, and he chose. And he, his response says, "You know what?
Yeah.
Dofi aggression. That's what it is. Name of the
Mhm.
game." Mulligan. He's very combative. Can they hear them? Can they hear them? Oh. It's very interesting chatter. Try harding here. Honestly, Wimmy kept the hand right away, so probably has
Yeah.
good good opening hand here. Probably going second. Best opening would be
Yep.
Sengoku Perona or Sengoku Buggy if needed.
Well, especially since she's going second, maybe she saw the djembe into something else.
And we are starting the round. Shecky will start us off with one Don. Looks like he has a Buggy, so it's the one that you don't want to play the most, but if that's all you have, that's your
Yeah.
only option.
Yeah, it's there.
You do see double Grav Blade there, which is unfortunate. So that's going to end up being the teach, is going to be his next turn.
Yep.
And then obviously we know he's going to be doing Grav Blade. No cards from Wimmy's side, which is it's not good. No stacking, no teach.
Yeah, but she must have kept it just because of
Probably has a 4-down
a,
turn.
yeah, has a djembe in hand. But yeah.
So ends up doing the teach, plays out the boa, so Shecky will be swinging for 8K while reorganizing here.
He can't throw it on the bottom?
He can, but the grab blade could actually be very useful
Yeah.
late game. And a lot of lists are running 2 grab blades. So, why not at least be able to utilize one of these grab blades? And now that you have teach on the field, you're going to be in a pretty decent spot with being able to utilize that grab blade and still set a body on the field. So ends up taking that life. Oh, taps
Did she
2.
get the teach? Yep.
Now the teach hits the field. She probably just got that out of life or the top draw.
Yep. And he did bottom deck that stack, right? With the
No,
grab
he
blades.
left it on top.
He did leave it.
Hmm.
So even though you are right, obviously it's very good late game, but
Hmm.
I was just thinking more, his hand is already pretty dwindled.
It is, but look at what. I mean, you see Wimmy just established 2 bodies while getting rid of the boa.
Yeah.
So already off to great pressure, especially with the teach. Um, you do see there's that grab blade that he stacked. And then now having the Sengoku, you can bottom deck the other grab blade and have no issues with it. Because now we're looking for a different body. And bounce law is probably the
Yep.
best thing to find right there.
Yeah, I feel like unless you're looking specifically for like a djembe or a boa, you're grabbing that law. And he's gonna leave one Dawn so he can replay that Sengoku and get his hand size up.
This is true. Although you're only getting 1 rested Dawn, it's still okay. Because now you can still swing 8 at the djembe. More than likely ask for 4K encounter or it goes to the trash. The Sengoku bounce, and now you can utilize that search to find more stuff.
Yep.
Oh, chooses to bounce the teach.
Because she was going the 6 Dawn turn, so then it just forces her to use that 2 Dawn.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense there. And then even if she plays Boa, you won't be able to do that Boa play anymore.
Yep.
And looks like the Sengoku might find another law.
Let's see.
Yep, ends
Another
up
law.
grabbing another law.
Perfect.
Which is the better choice? I do see a Weevil and a Jozu there. Obviously, Jozu can't be picked from the
Yep.
Sengoku search, but the law will at least be able to remove the field on Wimi's side. Unless she establishes a Jozu right here. But not worth it at this point.
Yeah, at this point, probably not, because I mean, you do get the law off the field, so he's not going to be able to really chain anything. But yeah, because there's no other like really great targets besides just doing teach.
Yeah. So Sheki would be at 7 Dawn next turn. Can utilize Grab Blade
Yep.
and can poke 5 and 5. Or do you wait till 9 Dawn turn to use the Grab Blade and still be able to use Teach with your leader ability?
I think it's really just going to depend what Wimmy sets up on board.
Yeah.
Because if she starts doing like bounce laws of her own, I mean, maybe. But I think just having that bounce law, like, yeah, he doesn't need the gravity blade on 7.
Yeah. And at this point, even then, this Boa here is going to attach an extra Dawn to the leader and swing 8 at the law. So for sure clearing law here. Yep. Unfortunately, law has to go.
Yep.
If he was able to keep the law again, chaining the laws back to back would have been so good for Sheki here. And he needs a bottom decking card. Nothing. Unfortunate. Imagine getting Red Rock or another Grab Blade out of life.
Yeah, because I did see he is running Red Rock in the stack when he was shuffling.
Yeah, I did peep 1 Red Rock. Probably for the Blackbeard matchup or the Shanks matchup to get rid of the 10 drops.
Yeah.
So Wimmy is at 5 cards in hand currently right now. Speaking of Kaya, Kaya is a good tech card in Dofi. Being able to draw 2, discard 2,
Yep.
and then bouncing it back to hand for a 2K. Good way to cycle. I have seen it in the East being used like that.
Yeah. He has Bounce Saw, but it doesn't look like he had. Okay, Bounce Saw and Boa, and I don't think he has any other 4 drops besides maybe a Pudding. I think I saw.
Oh, you do see a Weevil look like on the top stack right there.
Pudding, Moria, and Weevil. I think he really is debating using Moria to get another Law back in hand.
And it's not a bad choice to do either. But you do kind of need to answer this board. Two 6K bodies on the field on Wimmy's side
Yeah.
can start to run rampant. And all Sheki has is a Buggy and a Sengoku here. Yeah, very rough spot to be in right here.
Yeah, I think that was the Moria on top.
Establishing it to get the law.
I
Oh no.
Oh no, he's using Teach Effect. Oh, he probably wants to draw it for next turn.
Mm-hmm. He's probably gonna clear the Weevil. Oh, it is a bounce law.
Well, that was from because he had a Bounce Law in hand
Oh yeah.
and using his Teach Effect. Yep.
Oh, a Sengoku search. So I do know that you can get full value off of the Teach, but why not go for the Weevil there? Clear the board, let her use the Teach ability again,
To keep her hand size down.
because it's going to dwindle the hand size, yes. And yes, she will guarantee a leader swing, but on this upcoming turn, you could grab Blade whatever she plays and then
Yep.
establish and use the Teach ability for your own side and establish another body. Couple options there, though.
See, got a Jimbei.
Jinbei to Law. Probably bounce the Boa back.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because he would probably just block the swing at Law with
Yep.
Boa. I think she's really debating putting that Teach down again or maybe just playing another body.
Not a bad idea. Because again, you can guarantee your leader swing, and then you're establishing another body, making yourself 5. But it kind of makes it so that he has to do that grab blade the next turn. Oh, and she gets rid of his Teach as well,
Yep.
which is unfortunate. He was going to need that for the gravity blade.
Yeah, made the turn awkward now.
Hmm.
Because you Gravity Blade, but you're not establishing anything else.
Just a bunch of banter.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to play out this turn.
Wimmy telling Checky to go on with the play here. And she's got how many in hand? Looks like 5, 6 cards.
Yeah, already going through 2 Bounce Laws and Trash. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, he does have the Moria to be able to grab it back, but
He does, but
it's a pretty rough spot not having that Teach on the field for Shecky.
yeah.
Because having that, he could have, bottom decked the Bounce Law on Wimmy's side and, potentially Jinbei or the Weevil,
Yep.
and then swing 7 at the rested croc and establish a body. That would have been more ideal right there, or 8 actually.
Four
Yep.
for
So there
Moria.
goes the
Yep.
Moria to the law. Still could do the teach as well, which you do see.
Yep. Yeah, I think he had to go with that play. A gravity blade, like it sounds nice in theory, but he was so behind on board, not having any meaningful bodies.
Yeah, and ultimately it wouldn't do nothing in the long run.
No.
Well, it would have slowed down Wimmy, but Wimmy could just reestablish everything again.
Yep. Because then she would also be more incentivized to counter the 7K swing at Croc and then have 3 attacks and maybe put him in a position to go for game. Or not necessarily go for game, but
Put her in a good spot.
yeah, it put her in a really good spot.
Yep, so he has another bounce lob, bounces the Weevil back. I
Yep.
think he's declared 8 at the Croc. Yep.
Yep.
And then he's going to probably reestablish the Sengoku or Perona.
It's going to be Sengoku.
Yep. Is he finally going to see his first Jinbei? Nope.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he hasn't had a Jinbei yet.
No, no Jinbeis on Shecky's side.
Just
2K,
the 2.
probably the better thing. He has a bow in hand. And then there were other choices are just Weevils. 8 cards in hand. Wimmy's asking for the hand size potential play. Sengoku search. Yup, Jinbei. Now, do you think she's got another law?
I'm not sure.
Or she could establish the Weevil again, get a card draw. Yep, looks like that's what she's going to opt to do. Jinbei to potential Weevil. Oh, Boa's just as good.
Yep.
Now you can stack for your Dofi leader and play over the Sengoku. And again, board clear the law on Shecky's side because I believe that's the only other law that he's seen that he had to grab from his own trash as well.
Yep. He hasn't seen a third one yet. I think how she touch one there. Swing. 3.
She chose the bottom deck the cards, which probably nothing useful in the stack.
Yeah.
Which is the good thing about Bo being able to bottom deck or stacking it on top. That's the only drawback to Buggy. Buggy you can stack, but unable to bottom deck
Bottom
it, which
deck,
kind of
yeah.
sucks. So now if she does decide to do leader swing, it's going to be a blind leader swing at this point.
Yeah, I didn't think she was going to go for a leader swing, especially after bottom decking. Just establish another. Oh,
Never mind.
she can't go for the bottom. But I mean, I don't think she's using like leader ability. There's no point right now. It's just the get another blocker and a stronger Dofi swing.
Potential. I mean, there is a Weevil in that stack, so she could do the leader ability, play over the Jinbei, get the draw, which looks
Yeah.
like it was a Sengoku that she did stack. So can get ready for the next turn. I'm trying to figure out what can swing and what can't. So going 5 in the law at this point. She's trying to dwindle his hand because she could swing 5-5-7
Yep.
at the law, or 5-5-8 if she chooses not to use the leader ability.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, doing a Weevil over a Jinbei would, I mean, that would still be a good play.
Hmm. And it just establishes another 6K body. Oh,
Oh
she
no.
misstacked it. Does the law need to be played out, or does the Dofi get to choose?
Um, I cannot remember.
Hmm.
Okay, so he does use the gravity blade here. Get rid of the blockers, so he can at least get that law off the field.
Yeah, it's a you may rest. So unfortunate. I think she was trying to do the Weevil and then
Yeah,
draw.
I think so.
And that's where it shows you like the type of pressure that you can get in like top cut tables.
Oh yeah.
I know this is like a little regional, or not even a little regional, a little like, what's a little on the bigger end of store tournaments. But now imagine on a regional level, like the type of pressure you get at the top tables.
Yeah, that's why sometimes, like during regionals, when you're watching these people at Top Cut, like I don't fault anybody for making like mistakes because some people maybe that's their first time, or even if it's your second, third time, like being nervous can happen.
Hmm. And you do see that Sheki did use the gravity blade to get rid of two bodies.
The two boas, yeah,
Yep. And then uses the teachability to be able to get rid of the
yeah.
rest.
He managed to stabilize
Yep.
with.
Seeing that Jinbei actually was very beneficial for him. That was the
Mhm.
first Jinbei he's played all game.
Let's see.
And I don't think it would have changed the turn that much if she would have played that Weevil out the last turn.
Um, no, I don't think so.
Because Sheki would have probably just did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I mean, she's got Sengoku, so she can search something, but maybe she has everything she needs in her hand right now.
Potentially just going for board clear, which is what needs to be done here. So
Yeah.
swinging 7 at the Jinbei on Sheki's side here. Sheki wants to keep it. He's going to have to give 3K or the Boa and then a 2K.
Which wouldn't be the worst.
No, at this point, that's probably a good option here. You
Yeah.
keep your entire field, unless she plays like a Boa,
Yeah, because
or not a Boa, a Law.
he just got back to stabilizing. So if he's able to, by simply just giving it 2K, I mean, possibly.
Nope, ends up letting the Jinbei go. Very interesting. And goes
Weevil,
Weevil into draw, and then I believe the Sengoku's.
Sengoku.
Oh, the
Oh yeah,
blocker
the
law.
the law. Yeah.
Which I do know that that blocker law is one of like the tech cards that she does use. A lot of Dofi lists don't like to use that law. A lot of them just like to play the 4 costs to kind
Yeah.
of just be aggressive. So it's a way to kind of alleviate some type of pressure from the board.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it because, in situations like this where Dofies just keep going back and forth, I mean, that one chump, the save one body on board, can still just swing things in your favor again.
Yeah, it could make a difference.
Yeah.
So you do see the Boa hits the field. Um, didn't see what was at the top, but I did see the teach.
Yeah, that's all I saw.
So it looks like he's going to opt for a leader swing here. And again, this is what these Dofi matches always end up being, is battle for board, because they're both still sitting at 4 and 3 life with
Yep.
about 7 minutes left before we go into overtime. Yeah, and Wimmy is sitting with a decent hand size. Looks like 6 cards in hand right now.
Yeah, and not all the time, but really, like, you could see who's winning a Dofemir just by popping in by just looking at someone's hand size.
Yeah.
Like if one is like way the other way, but again, things can just swing so fast in the other
Yeah.
person's favor.
So Sheki chose to swing at the Jinbei for 7 and then use the bounce law to bounce her blocker law back to hand to pretty much try to guarantee a swing in.
Yeah,
And she chose to counter out, protecting the Jinbei, which at this point, why not keep the body on the field to put pressure? Um, all Sheki really has else to swing with is that Boa blocker. Could do teach to put pressure, but a little risky there.
yeah,
Ends up grabbing the Moria from the Sengoku Search, which can allow him to grab another piece from the trash. Um, he's gonna swing 9, potentially at the Weevil,
yeah. I think that's where he might just do the
or swings at the
Jinbei.
Jinbei to guarantee, because she'll have to give up 3 cards.
Yeah,
And you do see the top of Sheki's scalp there. So yep, swings at the Jinbei to pretty much guarantee the clear there. Weevil would have just been a 2K, 2Ks,
yeah,
whereas the Jinbei, you're gonna need 2 2Ks and a 1, or another 2K if that's all Wimmy had. Ends up doing the Sengoku search on Wimmy's side.
and I
Looks like
think
there's
she's
a
only
Weevil,
saw Weevil and
a Jinbei.
Jinbei. And she's only seen, I think, one bounce law so far, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I think she's seen all 4 Jinbeis at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Which Jinbei to Moria, which will allow her to grab another Jinbei from the trash.
Huh.
Yeah, she's sitting real good right here. Has 2 Weevil swings and leader swing. As well, I think she still has the 2-drop teach in hand, which can guarantee another leader swing. Chose to swing 7 at the law. I believe 5 cards in hand currently right now is what she just
Yeah.
told Sheki. Ends up clearing the law.
And probably just swing 8 at, or no.
Could have swung 8 at the bow with her own Weevil. Tried to gamble there with leader. Ends up seeing a
Yeah.
Perona, so unfortunate. No body being played out there.
Yeah, and that one, I should just played that.
So chose to go 6 at the boa.
Because then I think she's probably just going to play the 1-cost blocker law right over that Sengoku.
More than likely that's what's going to happen. So it ended up swinging at life and not at the other boa. So ends up replaying that blocker law. Called her for slow playing. Yeah, she did see all 4 Jinbeis, and then now, not only that, he's going to use another one potentially next turn for a
Yep.
5th play. Looking at Sheki's hand, he has got the Moria to grab that boa back, if that's what he's thinking about doing here. Ends up grabbing the bounce law instead.
Yeah, I think that was probably the better choice, in my opinion.
Decides to do teach. He said it's math time. It's a pretty rough spot. I mean, you could, if he would have held on to the law, he could have played the law, bounced himself back, played it again, bounced the Weevil back, but then you're just taking some pressure off, and then giving her 2 bricks in hand that she can use to draw other cards. But yeah, it's a pretty rough spot for Shecky here.
Yeah, because yeah, she'll just Jinbei into Weevil again, or
Hmm.
maybe not even Weevil. Just depends.
So yeah, ends up swinging 8 to the Weevil, and then he's declaring to bounce the Weevil and realize that the blocker law is still there,
Yep.
and meant to declare the blocker law. So ends up bouncing
Oh,
it back. Still has 4 Dawn left.
just replay the bounce law again.
Potentially, yeah. So we're gonna give the blocker law up to protect that Jinbei, or to protect the
The
Weevil.
Weevil.
So in about 30 seconds, they are gonna be going into overtime
Yep.
in this Dofi mirror match.
Okay, so choosing not to do that, just give up the Weevil or counter.
Chose to swing 8 at
It's the
life
first
with the
life
boa.
taken in a hot minute.
Yeah, 3-3. Of course, now it's going to come down to pressuring life going into overtime because they're
Yep.
going to go into 0, 1, 2, 3. So they're each going to take 2 turns. And depending on whose turn is first.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. I feel like both players have perfume. Grab another Jinbei.
Looks like she's debating on what to grab back from the Moria and choosing to grab the boa. And ends up playing the boa again just to block her up, restack,
Yeah.
and could potentially swing with the leader for leader ability here.
At this point, do you just go for life?
Um,
Especially because we're on
the
an
overtime.
overtime rules. Because if we're just swinging into characters, I mean,
You also got to take into consideration the hand size that Shecky's at.
that's true.
So you could pretty much dwindle his hand. She's got 3 life with a blocker, but we do know he has bounce law in hand as well.
Yeah,
Um,
she is going life.
yep.
Oh, they gave up 2K for 5K swing.
Because life is going to matter at this point. You want to be at higher life
Yep.
than your opponent. Chose to go 8 to the boa.
Yeah, and I think that's why he was countering there, because I think it doesn't look. I mean, Wimmy has the best chance to push for the game.
Yep. So Shecky is turn 1 here.
Yep.
So after him, it goes back to Wimmy, and that'll be Wimmy's final turn for the game.
Yep.
If we make it that far. And then Shecky will have the last turn. So at that point, do you swing
With
with...
Boa.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, chose to do Law first.
Yeah. Just.
Law bounce himself to
Yeah.
bounce the boa. So now you're guaranteeing swings into leader. So
Okay.
he's going to go for lethal here. Which we do know that she has a Weevil and a boa in hand. So 2 bricks in hand that we
Yep.
know of.
Yeah, and it looks like she's got a
Oh,
Rona. I think
He
we
went to
know
board.
she has a Jinbei too.
So went 7 to Jinbei.
Oh.
Did
Ooh.
Law. He's going to probably bounce the boa and play the boa again.
Yeah. That
Yep.
way he has the blocker, taking off more pressure, so she can't get in as many swings as she wants.
Did he choose not to bounce anything from her side of the field? Yeah. Obviously, you
Did he
don't want to
just-
bounce the Jinbeis because then she could flood the board again. And then the Moria, playing out the Moria allows her to grab another essential piece back. So I can see why.
Oh, and especially since she's giving up so much counter,
Hmm.
maybe he just doesn't want her to have any play. But again, this is her last turn, though.
Correct. Yeah. So now this is her last one, which just kind of goes in favor a little bit. It all comes down to how he's gonna counter out here.
Well, that's why I thought like bouncing a character back would maybe be better, um,
Oof.
just so he could potentially be at a higher life total.
Yeah, and then you see
But
there, Wimi ends up hitting a bounce law, bouncing the
yeah,
boa back. Ends up swinging 5 at the Moria. Gives a 1K there. Jinbei to boa. Restacking. Probably going to attach it down to the Jinbei and swing 6 again. Oh,
7.
7. Oh.
Yeah, because with a boa, unless he somehow like bounces that boa. Um, Because also too, if they're at equal life at the end, I think it is it how many characters on board?
I think it goes to deck.
Is that deck?
But he essentially needs to land each of these hits right here.
Oh, okay, so he could use the bounce
There goes
law.
7. I believe he might go 777 here. Or no, yeah, 7. And then what is that? 8? 5? No, that's another. Yeah, that would be an 8K swing right there.
Yep. Well,
Oh, he was supposed to do the perfume first and then teach to give himself the extra 2.
yep.
So ended up passing both at 1 life. So now they're deck counting to see who wins here.
So I don't know who.
Uh, Wimi was searching
Women
a lot
picked up
more.
more,
Yeah,
yeah.
and with the Weevil. So. Oh wow. They tied on the second condition. So
Because they went to characters on board, I think, right?
yeah, so it goes to life. From life, it goes to deck count, and from deck count, after that, characters on the field.
It's the first time I've seen it go the characters on field.
Yeah, I honestly thought Wimmy searched a lot more, but Sheki did get a decent amount of Sengoku searches in.